Morning all, it's time to crack on, but before I do, I'm going to have myself a cuppa, listen to the gardening programme, and I'll see you in a bit. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, folks.
Text coming in already on 81333. Let's take a look at this one. It's Dave at the Allotment. Allotment Dave. It's Dave at the Allotment.
Right, just while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil there, I'll say hello again. I still don't know the date. Give us a second. 4th of May. And the saying goes, never cast a clout till the month of May is out, or the Mayflower. It depends where you come from. And it has been frosty. All last week was minus 1 to -2 degrees at night, so I'm glad I haven't put everything out yet. It's far too cold, you know. But it's not too cold for the wasps, and with us not being here more regular than I used to be, they're coming in. I don't want them nesting here, so I've got this fly spray. Every time one comes in, get out. You're not welcome here, wasps. But I have got some, well, it's good news for me. Oh, here we go. Go and get it. Keep out or die. I eventually got me posts from the council. Keep that in my hand because the bugger will come back. I got me posts. I went up and got them. Thanks to Robin, who gave us a lift. Get out! I'll be doing this all day. I got me posts, so I'm gonna fix me gate today. Well, with it being a bank holiday tomorrow, I'll put the post in and then put my gate on tomorrow. So burglars, tonight's your chance if you want to get anything out my shed. There's going to be no fence on. Haha. Well, right, go on, girl, jump down. There you go. Go on the chair. So I'll have this cup, like I say, I'll listen to the radio for a bit and I'll crack on. Another one of my jobs today is get these onions out in the ground. It has been raining all week as well, like, so it's not the driest of ground, but if you've got to do it, you've got to do it. So I'm going to put them here. I've just given it a little raking over, and I'll show you what I'll do. Obviously I'll get the onions out of the tray and separate them, but I've got my little dibber thing here. I just make a hole, and depending on what size you want your onion is the best way. I usually go like, imagine the onion when it's going to be fully grown, and then you want at least a hoe space to get in between so you can hoe the weeds away, and then put your other onion there. That should be fine. Well, I manured this land last year, so it doesn't need a thing, but one of the most important things about the soil is whatever you've taken out of the soil, you have to put back in. Like, you know, don't expect to just dig the soil over and then plant stuff and it'll grow, especially if the ground hasn't been worked for a few years. You know, you've got to put things in I remember years ago when my dad had an allotment. They used to dig. It depends on what you're going to put in, but fish blood and bone, sulphate of ammonia, all the old school. You know, you can't go wrong with things like that. Lime, if it needs lime, get it all in. You know, like I said, everything that gets taken out needs to get put back in. So that's another job for the day. I'll get my onions out, see how many I get in there. So, you know what I'm going to say, crack on. See you in a bit. Mine. Oh, it's mine. It's mine. Oh. Right. It's hammer time. I'll explain from here because I've got the radio on as well. Now that post there has been in for at least 60 years. So hopefully, I know what they used to do in the olden days. They used to make things, build things to last. So hopefully I'm not going to have a mission getting this post out. So I've got my crowbar, I've got my hammer. I'll crack on with that. I'll leave the radio on. You might get a few tips off this. So let's see how it goes. Fingers crossed, everyone.
Last year, I think it needs to get its feet established as well as in a container. Two things, it's growing in a container, so moisture regime, feed regime will be critical over the next year or two. So I just think, you haven't found it by the way, have you, this because sometimes people have actually been slipping bits off and they can be throwing the flour off. I would give it time, I would give it another 12 months. Really, what it needs is the right growing position, feed it well, get it to that because remember it's in a container. It's also in a large container which has been put in, so it's actually trying to find its feet there. It'll even do better when it gets, because cherries, the very nature, even the dwarf ones, are very aggressive in the system when they start. But it'll take a while, I think, if it was just dropped last year, it'll need a couple of years to get that into the container.
Yeah, I was going to say, is this a sweet edible cherry or an ornamental cherry? Right. I was going to say, if it's a sweet edible cherry, they're a bit of a challenge to grow up in this neck of the woods because they tend to flower quite early. So that's one problem. If it's a standard cherry, stand set, they tend to be very surface rooting. Their roots tend to go along the top of the surface. So unless they're dwarf cherries, they're often not very comfortable in containers because their roots like to spread all over the place. So I mean, I would follow standard advice. I think a good feeding regime this year. Lots of phosphate, lots of potash throughout the course of this year to keep it, to build it up, and then see what you get at the beginning of next year.
The easiest way to produce rhododendron is to go
I don't know if you can hear what he's saying there, but it sounded quite interesting. But I'm not going to film all this. Luckily that post came out. Hopefully there's not loads of concrete in the hole, so I'll let you know when it's done. Ta-ra for now. Well, luckily it wasn't that bad. That's what I dug out. And whoever put that in, that's not deep enough. If you've got an 8-foot post, here's a little tip for you who don't already know. An 8-foot post, you've got to sink it in a 2 foot, and that'll give you a 6-foot high fence, a solid 6-foot high fence. That was rammed into the deck as well. That's been there a few years, but it's out. It's made my job a little bit easier as well, because all of that concrete there was well, quite a bit of it, you know what I mean. But that's not enough. So I've got a bag of that post mix stuff. What I'm going to do as well is cut these ends off, make them level. Cut the ends off there, and have a little fiddle about, Vizbucks, votables and all that. So I'll crack on. Right, onion planting time. As you can see, I don't know, there you can. They're all sprouting out nicely, so what I'll do is empty them out, split the roots so you get the most roots in, and then use me little dibber thing. I'm going to start there where that plank is and then work my way down, so let's see how far I get. I don't know if you can see the roots, but there's roots. And so on and so forth. But I'll show you from this angle what I was doing, because I didn't think you could see from there. So before I put them in, just the light troweling. I've already done the rotivated it and that. Just getting it nice and soft, you know. Now I don't know if you can remember last year, but I used to last year when I put these in, I put some cow manure on the bottom. That was because it was the first year of any manure being put on. So I don't need to do it with this time, but I've got some chicken pellets, you know, because like I say, you've got to give back to the soil what you take out in the first place. So now that's all ready. Like I say, you want to have a little think about how big you want the onion to be, and then have like the width of a hole, so you can take the weeds out and try and go in like, you know, straight lines. So like I say, I'm just making a hole into the ground, teasing the roots out. Try and keep as many on as you can. I've left these outside for a couple of weeks as well, so they can harden off before I stick them in. But there you can see it's got quite a few roots on. So now I just ease it into the hole. Make sure if you do it like this, you've got to make sure to fill it back in. There's no air pockets where the roots are. That's no good. So once it's in, let's give it a nice little firm down. And I like to leave a little ring round it so the water will always seep into where the roots are, you know. But I'll show you that when I water. So I'll get on with it and then show you when I've finished. Right, so them are in. Like I say, I got some chicken pellets. These are just from the pound shop, you know. I don't need much. But best way to do this as well is to just lightly sprinkle it just where your onions are. Because if you put it in between where your onion is, you're going to be feeding the weeds, and it saves, you know, you don't want to put too much on. If you've got hedgehogs around as well, you want to watch, because I've seen a hedgehog before when I put this down and it came along and ate it all, which I'd never seen before. That was years ago, like. And then also watering in, that's most important. You can't think, oh, it's going to rain, so I just not bother. You've got to water them in straight away. And that's where I feel sorry for these people that haven't got a tap, like constant water, because I don't know how you'd be able to do it. Give them a good watering in. And can you see how each of the onions got like a circle of water? And you've got to just press it down a little bit firmer around there, and it'll make a little trench around this, so the water goes straight to the roots. There's another little old school tip for you. Right, the onions have had a watering. Now it's time for me to have a watering, so I'm going to put the kettle on. Back in a bit. Okay, tour time. I've stuck that garage door up there because there was no room for it in my garden. I've got plans. There's my post in, fence back up. The door opens, no problem. I've only needed to use one post as well, so I've got another post left and another bag of concrete. What I might do is half the post, sink it in there in each corner and make a little lean-to thing to keep some wood dry and stuff like that. But it's starting to get a bit tidier there around there now. That's in there's cow manure. I've been using that today. I've had 2 pickings of rhubarb so far, and Paul has apple crumbers. Apple crumbers. Apple crumbers is yummers. Me chives have come up. The rosemary looks as though it's taking root, and these goldenrod have started growing, so they've taken okay. All the flowers and stuff are starting to grow around here. Got some bluebells there. Now I've got a load of dandelions. I don't mind the flowers, but once they start turning into them clock things, you've got a nightmare on your hands. The pond, there's tadpoles there, like. I'll just quickly zoom in. I haven't brought my tadpole cam today. Well, there they are anyway. That's the only thing with this camera, it takes a while to zoom out and in. Anyway, my rose climbing thing has started getting buds on all over, so that should be nice. This purple one I planted has started picking up and growing, so there's some more bluebells with a bee on it. The bee on the bluebells. Zoom into that now. A little bit of wildlife. Where you going? Oh, I don't know where it's gone. It's there anyway. Bluebells, nice. Irises, they haven't started flowering yet. Me black currants and raspberries have started getting buds on, so I'm happy with that. I know they're small, but I'm just pleased that they've got some on. Now with this, I never knew about this till I was watching Sean's allotment thing, the Hort channel, and he was on about the other day about the strawberries, and I didn't know this, like, but if they've got black flowers on, like in the middle, you don't get any strawberries off them. And I've noticed there's quite a few here, so I'm just picking them off. I hope I'm doing the right thing. That's gone black. But there's still a couple on, so I should get a few strawberries. There's one there. Yeah, if it's got a black flower, you don't get any strawberries apparently. So, oh hey, loads of them have got black heads. Does this mean that the plant's been in for too long or what? I don't know. But thanks, Sean. You learn something new every day. On with the tour. I still need to dig this bit over. My garlic's doing okay. That's picked up. So let's see what happens with them. These are the giant onions. Dan's from Dan's allotment. He's sent us them, so hopefully I'll have some whoppers to show you. We should be canny. Now these ones being special ones, I've still got some cow manure, so I've dug a load into the bottom, planted them in, then put some chicken manure on top of that. Give them a good start. There's no signs of my potatoes yet, but I didn't think there would be. It's only been a couple of weeks. There's most of my onions in anyway. Start getting sick after a while. It's 6:30 anyway. It's been a nice day all day as well. There's my shallots. Put them in. I've got enough to put another sort of row of onions down there. And I've got the rest of the land to play with. I put some spuds in me potato bag thing the other day. Nothing's happened yet, obviously, but it'll happen. Now I don't know what to do with these onions, because these were the ones that were knackered last year, but they're starting to grow, so I don't know what to do. Whatever. I've chopped my comfrey back. I'll show you what I do with that later. Oh, there's Spencer and Martin cracking on there. They've been doing a new trench. Zoom in. Martin's not just sitting down there, he is actually doing something. Oh, he must have heard us. Yeah, they're making a new trench. Everyone's making most of the bank holiday weekend. Look at that artichoke there now. That's huge. It's got to be at least nearly 4 foot tall. Well, it's just started getting an artichoke on there now, so hopefully just get more than one, like. But I've never known them to grow that quick, so fast. Just shows you the weather changes from year to year. The greenhouse, there's the rest of my onions that need to go in, but I'm coming around tomorrow because it's bank holiday, so I'll have another day. Now that's one of the buggers there. I didn't like picking them up. Bloody slugs. Oh. I'll show you why. Bloody things. They're like touching them either. Yuck. All my cabbages, I had about 20 grown, and the bloody slugs have got them. So now I've only got 6 left, and there's a couple of raggly ones. So I've had to bite the bullet and get some slug pellets. I don't like using slug pellets because of the other wildlife that's around, you know, the frogs and what have you. There's a little bugger there. Aye, and this is another strange thing. These 3 tomato plants, along with these broad beans that had been grown, last time I come had fell over somehow, don't know how. So these ones are, I've tried to save them, but they were bent over and snapped. And so same with these, they've come back to life, like, so all's not lost. But I've sowed another load of broad beans there. Like I say, I don't like using the slug pellets, but I have to. I'm not having everything ate. But these here I've potted on are me cornflowers and the calendula, and that mystery plant pot, that was spinach, which I potted on, and that's grown nice as well. So I'll get me I'm strong to the finish cause I eats me spinach. I didn't like, but I'm gonna try it. Chrysanthemum cuttings, they've definitely started rooting now. You can see them coming out the bottom, so that's good. All's not lost with them either. Like I say, I've kept these, kept the mother plants, let these final stems just grow on. There's the rest of me tomato plants. So luckily I put them ones in there. My sweet corn, these are the baby sweet corn. That's me choy sum there. It's growing alright. The coriander's up. I'm not too sure what's happening with these rose cuttings. Nothing's happening in there. And that's the pak choy, which will need to go out soon. The slugs got me courgettes as well. And it looks like they've started nibbling these. Marigolds. So there's some more cabbages I've sown. These are sunflower, poppy, some sort of poppy. Can't remember now. So that's about it for in that greenhouse. My Comfrey. Now, if I haven't showed you before, or if you haven't never noticed before, this is where I keep my Comfrey. I just get the leaves like that, put them in here. It's got a tap on the bottom, and I've covered over the hole so it doesn't get clogged up. And what I'll do is just put it in there. This was off last year, and you don't need to put any water in or anything like that. Maybe it's just a little bit to start it off rotten, but after that you're alright. I'll just show you what I quickly show you what I do. And that's all the Comfrey there chopped off. You want to try and get it before it flowers as well. Ooh, see the size of that frog there? Hello, Mr. Frog. Look at the size of him. Pretty big. Go on your way. and I get on with this. Whoop. Hello matey! Anyway, like I say, I just let it all, put it all in there. I'll do a few handfuls because it'll take a while and I don't want to bore you too much. Just chuck it in. As my mate next door, he's having a party over there. Don't know if you can hear the music or not. Anyway, I'll not do any more of that. But after that, I put a weight on, so it's got a little bit weight to weigh it down, and I'll put that plastic top over it and let nature take its course. My mushrooms, which I'm going to have to definitely get into a bigger box, because as you can see in a second, that looks like a mushroom to me. They look like mushrooms there to me, like. Hey. So, thanks again, Ken. You know what you're doing. And since I mentioned Ken, I best mention Irene. Hello, I'm going to have a cuppa in a minute. And Paula, I'll see you next week. And before I forget, before I get wrong, should I say, I better mention Auntie Kath as well. So, hello Auntie Kath. What is it? Queen Auntie Kath. Queenie. There you go. Whoop, B. So, you can't say I never mentioned you. If anybody else wants to mention, just put your name down below. Don't forget to subscribe. If you don't subscribe, I'll not mention you again. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, mushrooms, get in. The greenhouse. I put a couple of early potatoes in there in that trench because that's quite good compost and what have you in there. And my tomatoes in here. I've got all the rest of the cow manure I'm going to dig in. And I've got 6 tomato plants left, so they're going to go in there along with anything else I can put in. Peppers, hopefully. My grapevine has started to grow. Whoop. These windows haven't come out, so that's good. That's everything in there. Like I say, I should get some good grapes again this year, hopefully. Well, that's about it. Make sure I don't trip over. Nothing else to show you. No, nah. Well, that's it, folks, from Dave's Allotment. I might see you tomorrow, depending on what I do and how I feel, and if I can be bothered to make a video again after making this one. So, sayonara, catch you later, and all that.